I want to kind of set the stage for what we're talking about today by just referencing the post that I made a day or two ago, whatever it was. And if you haven't seen it, there's a picture that says "Don't throw in the towel," right? And the entire idea of the post really is just that this is right about that time of year where people mail it in, man. It's like, oh, I haven't gotten where I wanted to get. Oh, it's like we're so close to the holidays and all this food and all these festivities and all this stuff and no 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 no. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't want to stress myself out during the holidays. I don't want to have to starve myself during the holiday. I'm just gonna start after the first of the year. Um, and the entire point of the post was to say, stop it. Stop it. We've got 2.5 months left, you guys. We've got 2.5 months left before the end of the year. And you don't have to make the decision to mail it in right now. Instead, you can commit to getting what you've wanted the entire year and getting it right now. And then showing up to the holidays and feeling incredible without having to starve yourself, by the way, or spending your life at the gym. So, in the context of that, on the heels of that post, I received a message from a gal yesterday who I'll just refer to as Jane. Identities are protect are how do they say that? Identities have been changed to protect the innocent. We'll just call her Jane. And the message that I got, let me go ahead and read this verbatim. It says, okay, I will throw in the towel. I'm sick right now. Plus, I'm working 2 jobs and just finished grad school. Okay. So it sounds like Jane's got a lot going on there. Sounds like she's in a bit of a struggle right now. It sucks to be sick. Sucks to be sick. Working 2 jobs is not easy. Finishing grad school while working 2 jobs, man, kudos for that. Kudos for that. And I'm sure, I know, I'm not shy. I am literally sure. I know that so many of you have got tons going on. You're busy people. You've got a lot going on. You have difficulties that come up in your life. You may be going through difficulties right now. You may be sick. You might have broken your leg. You might have family members that are going through, trauma right now. I know that there's a lot going on, and I know that there are difficulties in life. And I want to be the first to say that I'm sympathetic to the fact that we all have things that happen to us. We all have things that are difficult to go through. I get that, and I'm sympathetic to that. But one of the things that I want to be clear about for all of you guys, and I talk to my clients about this often, which is that it's my job as a coach to be honest. If I'm not able to be honest with people, then I completely fail to serve them. And that's just a fact. Being sympathetic and being loving and caring is good and important, but being honest is also important. And so I want to talk about real honesty today, and really dig into a couple of things that I'm really motivated to talk about based on this message that I got from Jane. So some people, a lot of people right now would probably rub your back and tell you, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're going through this. This is awful. Listen, now is probably just not the right time for you. I know how rough things are. You'll find a better time, da da da. So here's the thing. I want to be clear about something. I'm sympathetic, but I'm going to be honest with you. There are reasons that things are or are not available to you. And there are reasons that you can and cannot do things. And what we're told what we're told is basically that, okay, we've got there are limitations, right? There are limitations. Not everybody can have everything that they want, right? This is what we're told. So I think that what I want to get through to you guys is this. What is or isn't available to you, what you can and cannot do, is a direct result of the things that you tell yourself, the stories that you tell yourself, and then consequently what you choose to believe of those stories. What you can and cannot do, what is or is not available to you, is a direct result of the stories that you are telling yourself and what you choose to believe. Period. End of story. End of story. And so, what I want to encourage you to stop focusing on all of the reasons that you can't. You've got to stop focusing on all of the reasons why you can't. We could come up with a bazillion of them, okay? I don't have time. I'm sick. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working 3 jobs. I've got 4 kids. My kids are sick. Someone in the family passed away. I broke my leg. On and on and on and on and on and on. We could come up with a bazillion reasons why. You guys, you've got to stop focusing on on all of the reasons that you can't, and focus in on how you can. That's the only way you change the equation. That's it. That's the only way that you break through the barriers that have held you back your entire life. That is the common denominator. Now, one of my mentors, and I say this often here, and I'll keep saying it, one of my mentors has one of my favorite sayings on the face of the earth, which is that anything is available to those that are committed. There is always a way for those that are committed. And so I want to give you a couple of examples, okay? So let's just look at some people that we can all recognize, right? When we're sitting there telling ourselves that we can't do something, or there are all these reasons why we can't, and it's so overwhelming, and we just can't break through, blah, 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 blah. Bruce Lee had a spinal cord injury, right? They told him, I mean, literally, this guy is one of the most freakish athletes of any kind of all time ever, has a spinal cord injury. And basically the docs say, hey man, you're stuck, you're screwed. You are not going to practice martial arts like you have ever again for the rest of your life. You're done. You're toast. What did he do? He told him to go F off. And instead of laying up in a hospital bed and being all woe is me, and now I'm never going to be able to do it again. I mean, what do you think would happen to Bruce Lee if he would have just said, I can't, I'm never going to be able to do it again? What if he would have subscribed to the story that was handed to him on a silver platter by the doctors? What would have happened then? But he didn't do that. He got up, he figured out a way. He figured out a way, and he got back to doing what he loved. And he did it until he died. An amazing story. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, we all know Oprah. She's born into poverty, abused as a child, sexually abused as a child. Is told basically that she's no good. She's never going to be worth anything. Blah 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 blah. Right? Oprah Winfrey has been rated. I don't know if that's the right word, but proclaimed basically as literally the richest African American in the 20th century. Think about that for a minute. The richest African American in the 20th century, man or woman, period. What do you think would have happened if she would have succumbed to the story that, oh, she was poor? I can't because I'm poor. I've been abused as a child. And so I'm going to need to continue to carry that along with me as I go on as an adult. And I'm going to need to stay true to that story. What if she would have stayed true to that story? Where would she be now? Not the richest African American in the 20th century. I can tell you that much. And here's one that is pretty obvious, but it goes without saying. Helen Keller, blind and deaf. I mean, come on, you guys, blind and deaf. And yet she goes on, I mean, I don't really need to say anymore, but she goes on to become a world famous author and speaker that we still speak about today. I mean, right now. Think about that. Think about all the stories that Helen Keller could have told herself. Crawled up in a ball and just died. And honestly, most people would have. Most people would have. Franklin Roosevelt, polio, paralyzed. I mean, you can't be president. You've got polio and you're in a wheelchair. That can't happen. Except that he was. Except that he became president, and became president, but he was a 4-time president. I was back in the old days for that term limit thing. Thank God. But think about, listen, all of these people are perfect examples of something that we have proven throughout history as human beings, which is that we can overcome anything. And honestly, you guys, contrary to popular belief, these people are not special. They are not special. They don't have something that they didn't have something that you don't also have. Okay? The only difference, if you are in a position where you are unhappy with anything in your life right now, including your health and fitness, the only difference between you and them is that they had a dream, and they committed to that dream, and they decided that they were going to write their own story. They were not going to be a player in a book that was written by somebody else. They were going to control the story. They were going to write the story, and they did. And they did. They wrote the stories that we talk about, that we dream about, that we go, oh my God, how amazing is that? How special is that person? They're not special. They just decided. They just decided. So I want to kind of circle back to this email. Let's circle back to this. So Jane, if you're watching this right now, I want to say something to you. First of all, I just want to tell you that I love you and I support you, and that the only thing I want for you is the greatest success, whatever that looks like in your life. I want all the things that you desperately want in your life for you. I do. And for all the rest of you, that's exactly what I want for you as well. I want only to see you reach your fullest potential and get what you so desperately want out of life. But if you aren't where you want to be right now, Jane and everybody else, I would go out on a limb and say that you're spending far too much time being a victim to all of the reasons why you cannot do this right now, and spending very little time trying to figure out how you can. I'm just being honest, and that is a reality, you guys. And the truth is that if you want to, this is a cycle. And many of you have gone through this several times. Many of you have been in this cycle for what seems like forever. And especially as it relates to, this could be in any area of your life, especially as it relates to health and fitness. We do this. I've been through it. We've almost all of us have been through it. But the only way to break that cycle is to decide to win. The only way that you can break that cycle is to decide that you are going to write the story, that you are going to find a way, that you are going to spend more time figuring out how you can and spend zero time worrying about all of the reasons why you can't. I know that some of you feel overwhelmed right now because you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh my God, okay, but where I want to go, what I really want, is like way over here. And I'm back here. And the gap between where you are and where you want to go seems enormous and insurmountable. It seems way too big and overwhelming. And I realize that. Let's do a quick game plan here, okay? A quick game plan to get you started. If you can see what it is that you want and it just feels like it's too far away, a little game plan to get you started. Number one, do something. Well, number one, find that vision. Be able to see what it is that you want. When we're talking about health and fitness, think about the body that you want. Think about all of the things that you want to be able to do. Think about the health and vitality in your life that you want. And be able to truly see that vision and commit to that vision. Number two, do something right now. I'll tell you, one of the things that is just, procrastination is insidious. It is, you guys. It is one of the biggest reasons that we get held back in our lives, because we say, oh, I want to do this. And I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it today. I want to do this. I do, really. I'm not going to do it today, but I'll do it. You have no idea how many times I've heard that story, you guys. And you know what? I talk to those people 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 2 years down the road, God forbid, 5 years down the road. Hey, how's it going? Did you ever, get started on your program? But no, I didn't. I never got started. And they're right where they were before, or worse. Do something right now. You guys have no idea how much power there is in doing something now. Doing something right now. Now is the time. Listen, if you're waiting for the right time, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life, baby, because there is no right time. The right time is right the freak now, okay? So number two, do something right now. Number three, I want to circle back to this thing being so far away and this gap feeling so big. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed. And the way that you do that is to commit to action each day, each moment. And these actions can be small. You guys, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be, winning the entire race right out the gate. But just commit to taking action every day and then execute and take that action. Do it every day. So when you look at an elephant, right, if I say, how are you going to eat the elephant? And you look at it and you go, it's too big to eat, right? It's way too big, freaking gigantic. I can't possibly eat this thing. But what if you just ate it one bite at a time? That's the only way it's possible. It's to eat it one bite at a time. And that's what you've got to do if you're feeling really overwhelmed, is just to, get to that goal one moment, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. Each moment, each hour, each day, committing to what you want and committing to getting there, committing to these small actions that eventually turn into a big honking snowball that's running down the slopes like a freight train. And then before you know it, you're like, oh my God, I'm halfway there and I'm blowing and going and I can see it. Now I can see it. I can taste it. Right? And lastly, what I want to encourage you to do is get some support, you guys. Look, I'm giving you guys all these big ideas and I'm saying, hey, commit to something, do it now. And you're thinking to yourself, some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, but I don't know how. I can see what I want and I know what I want, but I don't know how. Or I've gone through all these programs and none of them have worked. Or, I've done all these diets and some of them have worked, but I've never been able to keep the weight off. Or I don't know enough in the gym to go in there and do what I feel like I should be doing in order to get myself lean and strong and healthy. Get some support. And you guys, that is what I'm here for. That's what I live for. It's what I breathe for. I am here for you guys and to support you in this journey. So if you are in a position where you're not happy with where you are in your health and fitness right now, then please send me a message, send me a private message, and we'll hook up and we'll get you booked on a call. And you can also, by the way, just go to www.ryanrlang.com/chat and book a call. You guys, the call is free. We'll spend 45 minutes together. We'll spend 45 minutes together talking about exactly where you are in this big dream that you've got, where you really want to go. And then we'll figure out a plan. We'll make a plan. And if working together is something that suits both of us at that point, then that's fine. And if it doesn't, then that's no big deal. That's not why I'm in this. I'm in this to support you. And if I can be of service to you, I am here for that. And I want you to realize that. Okay, so I want to wrap this up today by just saying, again, I love you all so much. I want nothing but the greatest success for each of you. If in any way I can support you, I am here to do that. Let me know how I can do that. And do not allow yourself to fall victim to all the reasons why you can't. Just stop it. Take action right now. Do something right now. Commit to it each and every day. Take those little steps along the way. Get the support that you need, and then come back and let me know how you're doing. And obviously, if we do end up working together, I'll know how you're doing. And so will everybody else after a while too. And I want to give a shout out, by the way, in the context of this conversation. I have two incredible clients right now that are going through some tough physical stuff, one of which is dealing with an illness of sorts, and the other of which is broke her foot, poor thing. And you know what? Neither of them are quitting. They're incredible. They're just forging ahead and continuing on to do the things that they know they need to do. We're just shifting. We're just pivoting in the course of the difficulties that they've had. But they're not using those as crutches. They're not using those as excuses. And I'm so proud of both of them right now. And also another one too, you guys, another thing, those of you with physical issues, you got to throw that away as well in terms of an excuse. You got to stop that. I had somebody a couple of months ago, right in the middle of their program, tear their Achilles tendon. Now listen, you guys, that's no joke. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but tearing your Achilles tendon, not only is it not fun, I mean, that is debilitating and it sucks for a while. And you know what? That person continued. They were doing really, really well, continued to lose 2 to 3 pounds a week, every freaking week, like clockwork, because they just got honed in on all of the other things that they could do. And before it was all said and done, 40 pounds, baby, bam, 40 pounds with a ruptured Achilles tendon right in the middle of the program. I don't care what it is. It can be overcome, you guys. Listen, everybody go have a great day. Hit me up if there's anything that I can do for you. If you need help and support, book a call, www.ryanrlang.com. I'll see you guys soon.